Hello, one and all, and welcome to your monthly dose of comic book conversation. The Spinner Rack is here. Nathan Kennedy, Tyler Baker, Batman versus Predator, issue number 1, taking you all the way back to January 1992, when you really start to look at the time frame of this between Alien 3 coming out same year, probably later on in the year, and then
If this was okay,
yeah,
Alien came out in I think May or June
that it seems like a summer movie. So you
yeah
have that later on in the year. You have Predator 2 that came out a couple years prior. We're also in the thick of it with the Kenner line. We have the Aliens toys. The Predator toys will be coming out in a couple years. The Alien versus Predator toys. So one could argue, though, quality wise, it's up for debate with people and their preferences. I think when you think of the brand recognition and what they were trying to accomplish during this time period, we were probably peak popularity with Alien and Predator franchises, because you got comic books, you got video games, the toy line is, as I mentioned beforehand, that's
the comics are both going
yeah.
at Dark Horse, and so I'd say even though Predator 2 did well, not well enough to kind of keep the series going, but the crossover and another Alien film, and oddly enough, Alien 3 just kind of brought it to a halt too. So
Which
the early
is,
'90s kind of.
that's a shame. It is a shame because I think time looks a little bit fondly on that now as opposed to when it was released.
I think on both of them. I think both films were not as well received as appreciated as they are now.
Yes.
I'm sure you have some people. I know there's still people who like to piss and shell over Predator 2 and Alien 3, but I think it's becoming more and more of like when they're brought up, they're not brought up as, oh, it's the film that killed the franchise. Like,
No, we got
no,
plenty
no,
of those later
no, we got
on.
plenty of those years later. So it's just good. And I hate that it took forever for so many people to realize how good both those films were. That they both expanded the mythology,
Mm-hmm.
in their respective franchises, and people just were so quick to like dismiss it because Arnold's not in Predator 2, or you know, Nick Hicks and Newt are not in it. Which that sucks too. But there's so many other great things in both films, regardless of what's taken out.
Yeah.
So.
I would agree with that. And how I told you that reading the issue that we're going to talk about today made me want to watch Predator 2. I made it through about half of it last night and then I fell asleep. I got too tired, but I am going to finish that up tonight. I was
Yeah.
really, 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 really into it, as I was the last time I watched it. I think every time I've gone back to it, I start to like it more and more. I never hated it at all, but the appreciation for it is just growing because as we get into the issue here, which you see me pointing down here, I guess I can go ahead and show that off because I do kind of want to BS around a little bit and kind of do our a little bit of our off-topic stuff.
Oh, of course.
But yeah, I went down and dug these out
Yeah.
from my collection. So hell yeah. Yeah. When we get into that, I think if you haven't read this first issue before, once you read it, I think you'll want to go and watch Predator 2, which is streaming on Max right now if you are subscribed to that, and the first film is there as well. But Tyler, I know mine kind of is your streak still continuing with no action figure purchases of any kind?
Just because I finally got my new debit card.
I did
I did. I had to go down to the bank and make him do it as opposed to waiting to get it in the mail.
Wait.
So
Hang on. They initially told you it's in the mail, right?
Yeah. They told it that we've just issued a new one. It should be there in 10 days, and nothing showed up. Well, I called the actual bank itself, and the lady I spoke to says, "Oh no, it's gonna be 2 to 3 weeks." Like, wait, what? So I actually show up at the bank the next day, and I tell them like I'm getting conflicting stories here of like what's going on here. Like I need my debit card. I have to have it, and I put a little persistence with it, and they they set me up to talk to the assistant branch manager, and they said because the lady I spoke to the day before says, well, yeah, if they didn't issue it to you inside the bank and they mail it out, I'm thinking, wait, issue it in the bank? No one said to me that they could just make a replacement right there on the spot.
Yeah, I didn't think that they could do that at all.
Yeah, but apparently my little local bank can do that. Huh. So when I went back and talked to the assistant manager and told him, like, I know one's been dispatched in the mail, but I if I can get one now, I'd like to get one. So they called and verified and said they could, but they saw that not only had it not been shipped out when I was told, it was shipped out on the 10th. And this whole fiasco with my card being hacked happened on 4th of July.
Yeah.
So 6 more days went by before it actually went inside the mail. So I was going to be closing in on probably 3 weeks from that initial waiting point. So I went through all that bullshit and I just got to trash the note. But point is, I couldn't buy anything. Yeah. Everything had to be cash. So I couldn't make any purchases, things that I wanted and things like that. So
it's like you went back to 1992.
That's what it felt like. And I mean, there were things like, fortunately, there wasn't a whole lot. I felt like I was missing out. There was some stuff I'm like, when I get my debit card, I'm going to buy that.
Yeah.
And but like I was looking at some Conan books and things like that. I'd like to get that if I could. And but the only thing I bought was the Panthro and Tigra Puma shoes. I really wanted to get a set of those because I love the Thundercat shoes that I got. They're so comfortable. I'm like I don't want to miss out and not get those. I just thought they looked so cool. So I went and bought a pair of both of those. That was my big purchase to myself, was buying a pair of those. So and pre-ordering Chilla, I did do that.
Yeah.
Other than that, I haven't done any other kind of like fun purchases. I told Nathan, I said I made a purchase to contribute to our appearance at PowerCon.
Yeah.
Which hopefully I'm not gonna say what it is.
Hopefully it turns out okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we can lay it on the table to hand out to people and stuff like that. So.
So when you said you pre-ordered Chilla, obviously you have Wily Cat, right?
Yeah, I got Wily
Cat.
Wily Cat. Yeah. When Mattel was doing them, I bought that 2-pack. Yeah.
2-pack. Yeah, I was gonna actually ask if it was a 2-pack.
Yeah. So they look good, but I'm like, you know what? I mean, I've already got them, and they look good. And so I don't need to buy, and I know what they're going for. I mean, they're desperately. I mean, like for one new figure to come out in this way, and all the others are variants. Like it's like Super 7's. Like, what the fuck's going on here, guys?
Yeah, between that and just the anticipation of how big of a house payment it's going to be when the Cat's Lair is announced.
See, that's so fucked up. Is that they're so ambitious with announcing that.
Unless it's like you said, what if it's just a Cat's Lair for the reaction figures? But that's also a possibility. But
yeah, I can't see them hyping it up. Yeah, I like, nah, this is just going to be something ridiculously expensive, and it's shocking that why aren't they putting that kind of effort into the action figure line? Like, stop focusing all these toy variants and give us more of the Lunatics, give us the Berserkers, give us more of the Third Earth characters, heroes and villains, give us some Burbles, some Wallows, it's there's just so much shit they haven't, give us Snow Meow, give us a mount for the snowman, but it's just more about these ridiculously expensive, play sets and vehicles. Like, I wish they would just do a dioramas. I'd pay $150 for a diorama, like something that could be depicted as, Mom Ra's tomb.
But dude, that is a lot to pay for just like a piece of cardboard.
Well, I'm just saying because if it was cardboard, like, dude, I'm not going to pay that much. I'm talking about actual 3-dimensional items that you can set up, like some of the statues.
All right, yeah.
Something reminiscent of the vintage toy play set.
Yeah.
Of Mom Ra's tomb. It was very simple, just the tomb and two of the ancient spirits of evil statues. Just something to kind of set up in the background of your or like the pool, Mom Ra's pool, like something like that. Because I just feel like these figures.
Why not do both? Why not have that and then also have like something a little more affordable? So if anyone couldn't, or even have the space for such a thing, at least they could have something.
Yeah, because when they announce this stuff, it's like I think they know very few people are going to be able to afford these things. So why don't you provide something in an alternative, to put on display?
Yeah.
Or damn it, stop. I mean, it's just I don't know. It's just Super 7.
Just stop.
Just stop with the variants.
Well, Fedmon said this. The rumor is a $650 price tag, which is that's way lower than I thought. I thought this thing was going to be pushing 1,000.
Or it may be getting close to 800 with shipping and taxes and all that shit.
I didn't think about shipping. Yeah, you got to factor. All right, so Fedmon, it'll probably be this $650, but the shipping itself is probably going to be like $100 or $50, and inch you closer to 800. I think it's going to be close to 1,000 though. I really do.
I would not be surprised because I just feel like if the Thunder Tank was around 500, how the fuck is the Cat Slayer, even if it's just the front, going to be $650? That makes no fucking sense.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. In terms of things that I have purchased lately, I bought a couple T-shirts from some Etsy stores. I finally got Jack with Bionic 6, and he's in fantastic fucking shape, and I won it at auction. So I got a good bid price, and now it's just Bungie and Dr. Scarab. Those are the only two that I'm missing from Bionic 6. So hopefully those will either show up on eBay for a decent enough price, or you can, I don't know, come to PowerCon and bring me those guys in mint condition. Or maybe I'll find one from the wide variety of vendors that are going to be attending the show, which I posted the list out in our Facebook group. It's going to be a lot of vendors there. It's going to be
a lot. There's a lot of vendors there. Yeah.
A lot of toys. So I'm going to have to make sure that I come prepared money-wise, or bring stuff to sell, Tyler. As I've mentioned, bring stuff to sell. That way you got some spending money. So make sure if you're going to come and attend the show August 11th through 13th in Columbus, Ohio, PowerCon embodies the power of friendship and family, celebrates the power of design, and showcases the power of imagination. More toys, a shitload of toys, more collectibles. It's probably going to be jaw-dropping, and more fun. There's going to be a lot of fun to be had. Experience the power. Tickets are on sale now. Friday Pass, $27. Saturday Pass, $37. Sunday Pass, the cheapest one, probably get some good deals. Those vendors don't want to go home with all that shit. $17 for a Sunday Pass. Or you want to be there, you want to hang out all weekend and pester us. 30-day pass, $60. Kids 12 and under get in for free as long as they're
a 30-day pass.
That's it. Did I say 30? I meant 3.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit!
You can stay there a whole month. I mean, Joe might take residence at the.
Yeah, I think you might realize, like, this is better than my home.
I mean, shit, a 30-day pass for $60. That's a hell of a deal. But no, 3-day pass, $60.
Yeah, Val, why don't you tell us about that shit?
Kids 12 and under get in free as long as they are accompanied by a ticketed parent or guardian who is 18 years of age or older. ThePowerCon.com. Go get your tickets. We're less than a month away. So if you're going to get it, now's the time to do it, to attend. Blow all your money. You won't have to really... I was going to say they wouldn't have to spend money at our booth since we're going to be like giving stuff to people that come to our booth. But I think we are going to have some items. Joe, of course, will be set up. He'll have his battle
faker version of Scarecrow and Battle Armor Orko and Slime Pit Hordak. Like... the same 3 fucking variants he sells all the damn time.
He's gonna have other shit there too.
Yeah, I know he is, but I feel like anytime I see him pop up something, it's like, Jesus Christ, Joe, it's a faker version of this. It's a Slime Pit version of that. Oh, this one's got battle armor. Like, damn it, Joe.
And if you happen to not be a part of our Facebook group and you missed the video is there on the channel. If you're interested in some Master Universe Origins figure review, Joe was there to give you his honest thoughts, and you get to watch him play with the action features, much like he usually does
with himself.
Like there.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of the comic wise. I actually, since the DC, I no longer have the DC comic reading app because it just did not work well on my phone. I have a newer phone. It just never worked good. The only time it would is if I'm at home and I'm connected to the Wi-Fi. If I'm just running the regular phone cellular data. It just shit itself. But I did on eBay because I was interested in checking it out. I went ahead and picked up Volume 1 and Volume 2 of Neil Adams' Dead Man. Because I was just really curious. I liked the idea behind the character, and I just kind of want to read that. And I got them for pretty cheap on eBay, so I'm looking forward to getting those in. Maybe by the time we do our next issue of the Spinner Rack, I'll have read them and given my thoughts. Another thing, I've had this for a couple weeks, and Tyler actually recommended it. Have not read it yet. I still need to read it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Silver Surfer Judgment Day.
Yeah, nice hardcover there. So
that beautiful Joe Jusko painting that he did there.
Let me just open it up and just look at that.
Yeah, that beautiful John Byrne. Or not? Wait. It's John Buscema. Excuse me, not John Byrne. John Byrne did that one shot that I recommended to you.
Yeah, and I have some pre-orders on the way. More G.I. Joe classifieds that have dropped, and I did. I'll probably talk about it briefly again tomorrow, since Joe has also reviewed the figure that's up on the channel. I don't have a vintage Snake Face, so I went ahead and bought an Origin Snake Face so I could put it on the shelf with the rest of the Snake Men. So I think aside from those things, I haven't really spent. Actually, no, take that back. The Criterion sale at Barnes & Noble is going on this month, 50% off the tag price, and Martin Scorsese's movie After Hours had just come out on the Criterion brand, and to make sure that I enjoyed the film, I went ahead and rented it on Vudu for $3 the other night after work and watched it, and I enjoyed it. Is it his best movie? No, but I enjoy the weirdness about it and just the aesthetic of 1980s New York, and seeing that, and especially like the nightlife, because it is the title of the movie After Hours, where was after midnight, like after 2 a.m. and all the crazy stuff that's going on there. And aside from that, the cast in it is crazy. So Griffin Dunne is the lead in it.
I like Griffin Dunne.
And he's fantastic in this. And the premise of it, I'm not gonna like divulge too much into it, but it's just the scenario of it is something that, while not as, I would never find myself in a situation as ridiculous as that. And the way that the story moves now, you could never remake it in modern times, because the movie would be over in like 30 seconds. But there's, like I said, there's just something about it. But yeah, you got Griffin Dunne, who, if you don't know who he is, watch American Werewolf in London.
Or My Girl.
Yeah, I forgot about My Girl.
Yeah.
But also in the cast, Rosanna Arquette, Linda Florentino.
From Jade and Men in Black.
Yeah, she's actually topless in this, and she's rocking short hair, like that 80s punk short hair.
Oh, okay.
Terry Garr, Catherine O'Hara, Cheech and Chong are kind of like briefly there. It's not like
flat out Cheech and Chong, but kind of like it's like guys who probably resemble them. Maybe
no. They're playing thieves.
Oh, okay.
And John Hurd, is also in there, and then I can't Bronson
Pinchot, Pinchot, Balky. Balky from Perfect Strangers.
Yeah, he's briefly there at the very, very beginning of the film. So just star-studded cast before for a lot of them really kind of hit it big, I would say. So it was cool, and to see.
I'll have to check that movie out.
I don't know if you would like it. And I know we talk about this all the time, where I'm just hesitant to recommend anything to you ever, because I watch things, I'm like, there's no way he's going to like this. And then you watch it and you like it. Because I want to say you wanted to watch it without my recommendation, I believe, but Thief, did I recommend that to you, or is that something that you...
No, I remember you had just bought it, I think.
Yeah.
And I think you just briefly touched on it. And I at the time, I had no mention of it. No, when I watched it, was just from like thinking about it all of a sudden, just kind of think about some of Michael Mann's older work. I'm like, Thief, well, I never did watch it. And I went back and looked at a couple of clips and watched the trailer. I'm like, fuck, I'll just buy it. And just fell in love with it. And I remember my dad fought me on watching it. I don't like James Connolly. Dad, I wouldn't recommend it to you if I didn't think you genuinely liked this. So what did he do? He came back and he loved it.
The soundtrack kicks ass.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I'll put it that way. Like, it's just kind of odd. Like the situation.
I like the cast in it though, and if it's about the kind of like the really really late night life of New York, I mean you
don't see a shitload of it. You just kind of see just the dinginess of New York. I'll just read you the synopsis, and you tell me if you think it sounds appealing to you. In a Manhattan cafe, word processor Paul Hackett meets and talks literature with Marcy. Later that night, Paul takes a cab to Marcy's downtown apartment. His $20 bill flying out the window during the ride pretends the unexpected night he has. He cannot pay for the ride and finds himself in a series of awkward, surreal, and life-threatening situations with a colorful cast of characters. He spends the rest of the night trying to return uptown.
No, to me, that sounds like an interesting concept.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But if you hate it, don't get mad at me, all right?
No, this isn't like, Joe was saying, like, oh, you should see Rawhead Rex. Oh, it's so awesome.
I think, kind of the mind-blowing thing about it that I didn't notice until this release on Criterion, its previous release was a DVD back in the early 2000s, and that was it.
Wow.
There was no release since then. So
it sounds like it's more one of his more obscure titles in his filmography. Like it's not one of those celebrated titles that he's done.
I would say that. Yeah, definitely, for sure. I'm kind of curious how other, especially connoisseurs of Scorsese's work, how they would rank it amongst his filmography. If it just constantly lands at the bottom, because I don't know how these people are. They might just be like, Gangs of New York's my favorite.
And I still haven't seen that. I think
I haven't seen it either.
Because I'm so sick of Daniel Day-Lewis. Daniel Day-Lewis is fantastic in this.
He's a great actor. I mean,
I'm not denying that, but it's kind of one of those things.
Last of the Mohicans is great.
I still never saw that.
What?
I remember seeing clips of it because my parents had rented it.
Oh, that looks boring.
Well, I'm like, it's a movie about Indians. I'm like, I was just like, it's just one of those things. Like when I was a kid, now I can appreciate it, but I have yet to come across it or see it on a streaming service. I'm like, hey, you know what? I never saw that. I'll check that out. Plus, it's Michael Mann. I never saw There Will Be Blood. I never saw My Left Shoe or In the Name of the Father.
There Will Be Blood, I actually like a lot, but at the same time, I like Paul Thomas Anderson's work. I'm a huge Boogie Nights fan. So,
which I only saw it that one time with you, and it was all right. It didn't make me want to see it again, other than William H. Macy, walking
blowing his brains out.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Oh well, yeah, they're repeated of him walking in and on his wife, and she's like, "What the fuck are you doing there?" It's like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah. That was the best. That was the whole best thing of the movie.
When she's fucking that guy like in the driveway, and everyone's standing there watching. Oh, it's so good. Last of the Mohicans currently not streaming anywhere.
Yeah,
I mean, dude, you could probably walk into Walmart, and go to the $5 DVD bin, and probably.
Because I know there's like a director's cut that Michael Mann released. It's probably like dirt cheap for like less than $10 on Amazon if I couldn't find it in the bargain bin.
Oh, let's look it up.
Well, I mean, some of his later movies, like I think Magic Hat with Chris Hemsworth, I saw the trailer for that. It didn't look good. Public Enemy, Johnny Depp was not as good as I thought it was going to be. It really wasn't. It was a pretty forgettable film.
Well, you liked Channing Tatum getting fucking.
Yeah, that was the best thing he's ever did. He got killed off camera because he fucking sucks.
Last of the Mohicans director's definitive cut on Blu-ray, $10. You can have it at your house on July 18th if you order it now.
Okay, well.
Actually, I need to watch Last of the Mohicans again. It's been like a hot minute. And hey, look at this runtime, hour 52 minutes. You remember when they used to make movies? I don't want to get on this topic of us bitching.
Yeah, or it's like, well, no, it's our weekly bashing of Marvel and Disney right now.
No, just kind of everything. Every movie has to be
it's 2.5
hours.
3 hours.
Like, no, it doesn't. No,
God, they used to be a novelty back in the day.
It did. You were like, oh shit, that's got to be on 2 VHS.
2 VHS, you know, like that's a big deal, man.
Yeah.
Heat, Casino, 2 tapes. Holy shit,
Titanic, man. Come on.
Oh my God, Braveheart, 2 tapes.
Was Gladiator 2 tapes? As well? No.
But when it came out, I bought it on DVD. It was one of those early DVD purchases. Yeah. Maybe it was 2 tapes. I have no idea. I was so eager. I was like, I didn't care about. Is it on VHS?
I want to say the Gladiator was 2 VHS.
It probably was because it's about a 3-hour movie. But it's such a damn good movie. It just
it's been a while since I watched it. I need to watch it. No, I guess it was only one, maybe. I don't know. Let's
maybe tapes at that point were a little bit more efficient, which is kind of ironic because they were being faded out.
Yeah, it was on. Yeah, 1 tape. I see a listing here with First Night and Broken Arrow.
First Night.
Richard Gere. Shit.
He fucking sucks.
Yeah, Richard Gere sucks, man. He does.
He sucks at everything. There's nothing I have seen him where like he was genuinely good. No, he's not good at anything. I've not seen it. I bought American Gigolo. Like I blind bought it because I had never seen it before. I'm like, maybe this might be kind of fun. And he sucks in that too. Like everybody else in the movie is good.
I'm going to look up his filmography right now and see if there's anything that we can find. And chat, feel free to chime in too if there's anything.
Like the Jackal, like Bruce Willis is good in it, but Richard Gere fucking sucks in that movie. Yeah,
Richard Gere sucks in the Jackal. Jackal's an okay movie, and it'd be better if Richard Gere wasn't in it.
Yeah, I would rather Sidney Poitier trying to hunt down the Jackal, not fucking Richard Gere helping him out.
I like when Jack Black gets his fucking arm shot off.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
That whole sequence is awesome.
All right, Richard Gere filmography, and I'm gonna just start at 1980 because all of his earlier work, I'm like, what the fuck is that? But 80, American Gigolo, 82, An Officer and a Gentleman, which I think is the one that put him on the map.
I think so, yeah. But Louis Gossett won the Oscar for that. I remember.
Yeah, honorary a consul. Seems like that. Yeah, whatever. Breathless, The Cotton Club, King David. No Mercy. What the fuck is that?
I think it's with Kim Basinger, I think. No Mercy.
Yeah. About a policeman who accepts an offer to kill a Cajun gangster. Power. Miles from Home. Internal Affairs. Pretty Woman. One could argue maybe Pretty Woman might be his best.
I guess when I saw that, though, and I've only saw maybe less than half, but I guess when I saw it, I'm like, this is not as good as I thought, but I was watching it with a girl I was dating at the time. She fell asleep during it, so I'm like, "Fuck!" Now I'm stuck. Like, like I don't want to. It's just one of the things. Like, this is your movie,
and you fell asleep. Yeah,
you fell asleep. Now I'm sitting there stuck watching Pretty Woman. I mean, there's worse things I could be stuck watching, but
true.
But I remember enjoying Sleeping with the Enemy when I saw that, as in terms of like Julia Roberts. It's not a Richard Gere movie, but I'm like. So it ain't so much like Julia Roberts sucks or anything like that. It was just, All right, anyway, keep going.
Rhapsody in August, no idea what the fuck that is. Yeah. Final Analysis, it's a neo-noir erotic thriller. All right. Mr. Jones.
Never heard of it.
Yeah. Summersby. Man, I'm like, what the fuck is any of this stuff?
Yeah, I know. Intersection.
Now, yeah, that was the next one. Richard Gere, Sharon Stone. That's probably why you watched it, right?
Well, no, I've seen the trailer for. I've never seen. I remember never seeing it to watch to rent the video because it was a trailer attached on a VHS. I rented a lot as a kid. I can't remember what VHS it was.
First Night, as we talked about with him and Sean Connery. Primal Fear.
I remember when that came out.
The Jackal. Red Corner. No idea what the fuck that is. Runaway Bride. That's probably one.
Yeah.
Dr. T and the Women.
Right. Don't know.
Autumn in New York. No.
Don't know.
Mothman Prophecies. That's another one people.
I saw that. It was underwhelming. I thought it was not.
What about Unfaithful?
I did see that. That fucking sucked.
Chicago.
Fuck that. Comedy or musicals. Piece of shit.
Shall We Dance? I've had the unfortunate opportunity, I've seen Shall We Dance.
What a treat I'm sure that was.
Yeah, thanks, Sarah.
I'm sure you were palming it the whole time.
Yeah, no, if I'm not mistaken, I think the whole thing is like, it's a remake of a '96 Japanese film of the same name. I want to say it's something like He Can't Fucking Dance or something, and he wants to. Jennifer Lopez teaches him how to dance or some shit.
Oh my god!
I don't know. It's fucking dumb. All right, I'm not looking anymore at Richard Gere's filmography.
Yeah, we're wasting your time with a shitty actor anyway. Point is, he sucks. I don't care if he's a nice guy or not. His movies suck.
I mean, just
they say that about everybody. If you don't like their movies, well, he's a really nice guy. He does a lot for charity. And have you seen him on social media? No, because he fucking sucks in his movies. Why would I give a shit about what he does on social media or charities or that?
I mean, that's cool. Like, that's fine.
But you know what? Every actor.
It's good that. It's good that if that is true, that he's taking the money that he's earned and putting it towards.
Oh no, I'm just making shit up. I'm just making all that up. No, I'm saying
so he might be an asshole.
Yeah, but people will say that about a lot of actors, and it's like, I'm sure all actors, even the ones I've loathed, are probably really cool in person. But you know what? It doesn't mean that their movies are good.
True.
And that's all I'm arguing. When I argue about I don't like this actor, I'm saying I don't like their movies, the ones that they're in. I don't like. I'm not saying they suck as a human being. You know.
Yeah, you are. Come on.
Well, maybe some of them. You know. Like Will Ferrell, I'm sure he's probably funny in person, but his movies are the drizzling shits. Mark Wahlberg doesn't make good movies, except unless Martin Scorsese's directing them. You know? And The Departed.
I like how you brought that back to Martin Scorsese.
It's like poetry, so it's just like...
Yeah. So that rhymes.
Yeah.
Well, fuck, man. I feel like we've wasted enough people's time talking about Richard Gere.
Yeah.
I didn't expect when we do our little talking about random stuff that Richard Gere was going to be.
Yeah, can you imagine if Joe was here, like how quiet he would have been during that Richard Gere conversation? He probably would have got up and not come back. You know, it would have treated like the Patriot conversation with Steven Seagal. He just gets...
I feel like he'd be like, who's Richard Gere?
Yeah. It's like, he showed his wiener in a movie. I'm pretty sure I saw that.
What was that, American Gigolo?
Yeah.
Isn't there like a line of dialogue in another movie where they talk about seeing Richard Gere's wiener in American Gigolo?
Probably. Hell, I don't know. It just can't.
Let me Google. Search.
Yeah. Sorry, people who showed up for a badass conversation on Batman and Predator. We're gonna talk about Richard Gere's dick.
Let me Google search movie quote Richard Gere wiener. Can't wait to see what pops up here. Wait, no, Scream. That's what it was. Remember when she's like, "Oh, we'll rent some tapes. I'll show you. You can see his penis."
That was A Few Good Moves. She was talking about the movie Tom Cruise.
Was it? Fuck.
Yeah.
All right. Well, never mind. I guess I got all of my actors. Fuck. That sucks.
I don't. Scream does not hold up, but I remember so many lines from that movie because I watched it so many times when it came out. He's fixated here, people.
Yeah. Damn it! Come on. I shouldn't waste any more time looking this up. Yeah, it's just showing the quotes there. You were probably right. No, yeah, all right. No, all the right moves, Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
All the right moves. Yeah, but you can see Leah Thompson naked in that as well.
Yeah. Leah Thompson that's a woman that aged quite gracefully, I think.
Yeah.
Sweetheart in person too.
Yep, still got her one strand of hair in your Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck, yeah, poster frame. Absolutely, dude.
Absolutely. All right. I do have all of the pages uploaded in OBS, so I might switch back and forth so we can kind of put some focus on some of the artwork here. One thing that I meant to bring up that wasn't because where I went to obtain these images came from the trade paperback that had everything together. So it doesn't give you, as you're reading it, a definitive, hey, this is
I have it memorized. Like and that's just from childhood. Because I had all
I figured that you did. So I had to go through and actually open this up and just be like, all right, when does
see where they ended and began. Yeah.
Yeah. But let's get into it. The writer, Dave Gibbons, penciler and inker, Andy Kubert, colorist, Cheryl Van Valkenburg, and Adam Kubert also did letterers, as it's put here, letterers. Editors, Dennis O'Neil and Diana Schutz. So this is a Dark Horse first comic, but in collaboration with DC. It's like they essentially, yes, you can use Batman. The history of this, have you read anything? Like, how did any of this stuff ever come to pass? How did they always make this work?
I think it was just there were the guy who wrote it knew someone at Dark Horse who I think it was his idea. I can't remember the guy's name, but I think it was his idea of like crossing over Batman and Predator. And then the guy from DC thought it was a wonderful idea, and I think he kept bringing it up. And Danny O'Neil, I think, who was the editor at the time, I think I think he was on board of like greenlighting it, and I guess they had to decide like, is this really going to work? Bringing this this is an alien creature from movies, and we're going to bring him over into one of our universes. Like this could fail, in their eyes, or it could be quite good.
But think about it. 2 years prior, you had Predator 2, which has a very similar kind of. It makes sense.
Well, and I can't help it because when I was a kid and I came across this, all I could think of was Predator 2 because I had seen Predator 2 numerous times before this, which is this would put me like second, third grade, I think, at the time. And I remember my brother came home from visiting my pawpaw's house and came home with 2 comics, and one for him and one for me. And he gave me an issue of X-Men, and I don't know which cover it was. It was Wolverine fighting Omega Red. And my brother says, "Oh yeah, this one's for you." And he says, and "This was for me." And it was Batman versus Predator. And I was like, "Fuck X-Men." And it was issue number 2 of Batman versus Predator. And I have never, I was so blown away.
When you look at the cover,
that cover, I'm like, it was so hard for my brain to comprehend. And I'll never forget it. He was persistent that Popple meant for that book to be for him, and I was supposed to get X-Men. And I didn't buy it for a second because he knew how much I love Predator and Batman.
I see this as a thing of not so much in wanting to piss you off, but I think within seeing the covers, kind of having buyer's remorse of choosing the one that he chose instead. It's like, well, I'll just do this and give him the X-Men. He likes X-Men, right?
Well, I it's almost like because I wasn't there. Like my dad took my brother to my pawpaws for whatever reason that this particular night, and when my brother came home and said, "No, this was supposed to be for you," because there's a follow up to this story.
Okay,
that's why I knew it was bullshit.
All right.
So, and I have a history of kind of cheating my brother out of like trading cards. That I saw he had something really good and I'd swap it. I did that twice, or actually 1.5 times technically. But it was one of those things where I'm like, I didn't believe for a second that Popple meant for me to have X-Men and my little brother get the Batman versus Predator crossover. And I remember getting deathly sick that night, like throwing up. Like I had like a bad stomach bug the night that these books came home. I always associate issue number 2 with throwing up as a child.
Fantastic.
But being overwhelmed, like the first page, and you see the Predator's got his claws up to a bloodied Batman. I had never seen Batman that vulnerable.
Yeah.
So, in knowing what Predator had done in the first and second
no
film,
spoilers. Come on, man. Come on.
No, I'm just saying, like this is because I got issue number 2 first, then 1, and then 3, and my pawpaw specifically gave me issue 1 and issue 3. So that's how I figured it out. Like he didn't get one from my brother or a comic to get to my brother. He's like, "Here, I got you issue number 1, Tyler, and I got you issue number 3." Like on each separate occasion. That's when I figured it out. Like that wasn't meant for my brother. It was meant for me.
Yeah.
Now,
have you confronted him about it since? Has he fessed up?
I don't think I've actually talked to him about it. Like I fessed up over like swapping the G.I. Joe trading cards with him, and then saying that my dad had like. He bought us like a pack of Marvel Universe Series 5 at a gas station, and he's like, "I'll get you 1 pack," and he split it up in his hands and said, "All right, you guys pick a hand." And I saw there was a Carnage insert, Holofoil insert in my dad's palm, like unintentional. Like, I'll go with the left hand. and knowing what was in there,
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
But I told my brother.
Ask him about it next time. You'll see him soon enough, right?
I'm going to the beach with him next weekend, so
ask him
I'll
about
say,
it. Actually,
I'll ask him.
You know what? Because you were kind of bouncing back and forth on it. You don't have to say your answer now, but there's part of you that it was leaning towards still doing the show while you're down there. If that happens, you need to just bring him on camera and just be like, hey, just put him on the spot. Well, I want to sit there and look at his. I don't know how he feels about being on camera. He probably wouldn't want to.
Yeah, I don't know. He'd probably be sitting there playing with the show like, nah, it's okay. I don't feel like it.
Is that
Tell
what he
Nathan
does?
I said, hey.
Is that what he does?
Well, he's done it since he was a kid. He'll take a part of his hair and like curl it in his finger, like when he's tired or he's just relaxed.
You're just thinking.
Yeah, and he still does it. So I can see him like looking at me like, nah, it's okay. Tell Nathan I said, hey.
I've broken out of the habit, but I used to just like sit and play with my chin here constantly. But then it was starting to like, rub a spot away,
Yeah.
But yeah, actually, yes, I'll go ahead and say this ahead of time. When you're down there and you see him again and we're doing the show, just beforehand, just tell him I said hey too, because I haven't seen him forever. It's been a long time.
Yeah, you haven't seen him in person.
It's when I ran into him at Barnes and Noble and he was stoned as shit.
I could see that.
I could just look at him, it's like toasted, and I was like, all right, yeah. He's like, hey man, no, I mean he was chill. He was like, hey, how's it going? I've seen you on hot. I'm like, yeah, he's fucking stoned, man.
Yeah, he still likes to enjoy some Chiba here and there.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, there's not. But like back then, it was probably a lot more.
Shit, man, I should probably start just to chill out. It'd probably help me quite a bit, actually.
It probably would probably help you decompress a little bit.
Yeah, that and probably some therapy would go a long way.
I'm certainly would, dude.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
But yeah, shit. Let me start virtual camera here, and I'll just swap. I'm going to show some. I don't know. I say that, and then I end up just showing the whole book or something, probably. But bam. Hopefully that doesn't screw with your audio too much. I just wanted to. Let's see if. And
for people who are curious, if you've never heard of this, there are variant painted covers of issues 1, 2, and 3. They're beautiful covers.
Yeah, which I could probably later on obtain. I probably should have grabbed those images too. I'll get them as we're going and show them.
Yeah, but even like the main covers, to me, I mean, they're just as striking. I think all 3 of the main covers are arguably, if not better. Like as a kid, seeing the paintings was like, oh my god, they're these beautiful paintings. But I look at these main covers, I tend to like them a lot better.
Same.
Yeah.
The painted are nice, but I mean, as I showed off issue 2, you can't. I mean, come on.
It's like this sets the stage of like what you'd expect, and then 2 and 3 really up the ante. Like the Predator like holding a hold of Batman on the second cover, and then the third cover, Batman in his new armored suit, duking it out with a faceless Predator, or maskless Predator. Like it was, oh my god, it was. When you're a Predator fan at such an early age and you love Batman because of Michael Keaton in the animated series, like, oh my god, Batman and Predator, like it was just like
peanut butter and jelly.
It was, and it did so well. They did like 2 more miniseries of Batman versus Predator.
Have you read those?
I only came across and they were all by accident. Like it was like when you're still a kid, so when you stumble upon it, it's like, holy shit, there's another one. And I came across, I think, issue number 4 or 5 in a bookstore, I think, and grabbed it, and I loved it, but I never did get to finish it. I did go back and read the first the first issue, I think. I've yet to finish it yet. And actually, you and I doing this, I started to reread it, so I've yet to finish it yet.
Yeah, I think after we do this, because it's been a hot minute since I've read issue 2 and 3 of this run.
It flies by.
There's part of me now that kind of want to get the trade paperbacks of the other 2 just to read them and see, because having the continuity there, I would assume.
Because the second one takes place a year after the events of this one, and the third one I have no idea, because I kind of thought, I don't know if I was turned off by the artwork. I was like, this first one left such an impression on me. I was like, this is going to be hard to beat. And then they ended up crossing over Superman with Predator as well, also crossing over Batman and Alien and Superman.
Yeah.
And they none of those. I even as a kid, they didn't leave an attachment to it. I would get an itch.
Superman versus Predator doesn't seem as intriguing to me as Batman versus Predator. Batman's, I mean, having no abilities and having the gadgets seem to, it's essentially kind of the same when you're fighting the Predator. With Superman, that's
and the thing about that is that they I remember when they announced Superman Predator, and it was like the shitty cover. I remember the art was ugly. And they were pretty much selling it that Superman doesn't have his powers on, because I saw it like Superman versus Predator. That's not going to work. And then they deliberately come out and tell you that
they have to find a workaround with that.
Yeah, this is bullshit. You can't just be happy that you successfully crossed over Batman with Predator, and it did great. It was a logical crossover. It makes sense, and even in this, kind of expands how a predator, like the mythology of the Predator and its perception of humans, and how it picks out people. Whereas, like in you understand the first film, it's soldiers, and then the second one, then it's not just it's gangs, it's people who are good go with weapons, but also not if you're a woman and you got a gun, doesn't mean you're out. But if you're pregnant, or it's just kind of or a kid holding a toy gun, like. It's all these little things that you kind of see the Predators they abide by. In this, that it expands upon this just in the first issue alone, you see this.
Yeah, and speaking of which, here we are. Here's the first panel. We have a boxing match going on, and it's sort of come to light that there are two feuding
mobs,
head table mafia guys here that have each of their fighters in the ring, vying to become heavyweight champion of Gotham City. As we go on here, this is what I really enjoy, that sets the stage and the way that they have it here. So we have the boxing action going on. We have the commentators, giving you the blow by blow. And you have, well, essentially that's all this is on the first page. We're not getting any dialogue with anyone else. We're having the commentators with the bout, and it transitions out here into this scrapyard where essentially this guy is just listening to the fight on the radio with his dog. His dog hears a noise and he's like, leave me alone, go out there and get whatever's out there. I want to listen to the fight. And it turns out that the Predator is there. And as you see, the trademark 3, the triangle,
the targeting system that they always use.
It takes him out, kills the dog, and we're off and running. The fight here is still being, as you're seeing remnants of the dog being dead, the dude's killed. You're still getting, well, he's actually watching it on TV. My mistake. I was thinking he was listening to it on the radio. So he's watching it on television. You're still getting the play-by-play, but then you're also getting where they're talking to the new champion, and Predator is absorbing all this information and basically says, "Congratulations, champ."
Yeah.
The next target has been picked, and now this is when we get the dialogue. Let me go ahead and move it back to this so people can at least see you a little bit too. This is where we kind of get more of the setup. We get more of the mob bosses talking to each other and just kind of talking shit. Meanwhile, you have Gordon and Bruce there. Gordon's kind of giving what is it, Yeager?
Yeah, Jaeger. I thought, yeah, see, it could be Yeager.
There's an E in there though. See, Jaeger would be like, if it was Yager, it would be Jaeger, but with the E there,
it could be Yeager. Yeah,
but Gordon's essentially saying like, oh yeah, because you're real clean now, right? Essentially.
Yeah, and right in front of the mayor, and the mayor's buddy with Yeager. And, of course, it's making the mayor look pretty bad that his questionable connection is being called out by the commissioner himself. So it's one of those things, like, I'm sure the mayor doesn't want to, people publicly saying that he's associating with the crime boss, when it's like, it's classic, corrupt local government, in the city.
And Bruce is here to kind of listen and observe all of this, which was interesting. To just kind of have him here. And you know what? I'm just going to end up showing the whole issue. Why not?
Well, yeah.
Uh, well, I mean, because it kind of gives a good basis, and I don't know. I guess I could.
And something I want to establish here too is that how this is color. And Andy Kubert is one of the is one of the finest like comic book artists that's ever lived. He's a name that is he's worked on X-Men. He's just and they're Adam and Andy, like their dad was Joe Kubert, another wonderful comic book artist. But his work in this and how it's colored. I mean, this is very movie-esque. Like it's so easy to picture this playing out in a live action film. The way this is colored, because
Yes.
this has like the almost like the filter, the color filter of how the first Tim Burton Batman looked.
Yeah.
There's a lot. I mean, and obviously it's very correct on how Gotham should be portrayed. It's very dark and scary place, but it looks like a city, a very corrupt city. And it's and of course I hear Kevin Conroy's voice as Batman, and anytime I read a comic book.
I'm kind of surprised that they didn't find a way to at least do an animated film.
They would fuck it up though. God, it's.
I'm sure they would take some liberties and make some changes, but if they just followed this basic, like how we get here with this, that would have been fucking amazing just to see it in motion.
If it had been done by like how the Spawn animated series was on HBO.
Yeah.
Because this is something like it's Batman. It's not meant for kids, so don't think about selling it in the kids' aisle.
They could do that. They could do that with Max now. Since they make it happen. Do it because they've adapted stories before and made them into animated versions for better or worse. They could definitely do this without a doubt.
Yeah, I mean, this could easily be a mini series that you could like. And I don't mean like pull a Killing Joke and expand the Predator fucks Batgirl instead, as an epilogue or some shit like that. I'm talking about like these sequences with the mob or like more kills for the Predator throughout the city or more investigation of what Batman and Gordon are doing.
Mm-hmm.
You could expand upon there. Don't insert these bullshit storylines because I want to bring my own mark to this. Like, no, expand on what's already given. That's the missing piece to all these, straight to video like adaptations of, with Public Enemy, Apocalypse. I mean, even though those are probably two of the better ones that they did, like some of the first ones they done, they weren't too bad.
Yeah.
But all the others, like Under the Red Hood and Killing Joke, I'm like, go fuck yourself. That's why I stopped. I'm like, I don't care what they're adapting next. I don't care.
I'm with you.
Fuck it up.
But if they did this, you would at least give it a shot, right?
God, I would be at this point because I'm so disappointed by so much of the superhero genre, of all the liberties they seem to take, as opposed to like you have the ability to make the movie that is absolute perfection and honoring the source material. Not because the fanboys demand it, but what is the point? You have a wonderful story. It's already been set up for you. Now adapt it into a film. Yeah. Sure, you need to stretch things out a little bit, but you don't need to come in here, cut this, scrap that, and just for the sake of, well, this guy who's writing the screenplay doesn't know anything about Batman, doesn't like Batman, doesn't know what a Predator is, and this here his screenplay. It's been greenlit. There, go. Next July.
Yeah, I don't want us to go back down our Marvel hole.
But I'm just saying, like, of course, because when I would read this as a kid, it really was like watching, a Predator 2 in comic book form, because the Predator 2 comic is ugly as fuck. Oh my god,
I've never read it. But...
Don't bother.
Okay.
But this to me, it was so grim and dark, but serious, and it looked great. Like I love how Andy draws everybody, heroes, villains, mob boss. Like just look at the stuff.
Great shadow work in this too.
Oh my god, his shadow work is some of the best. Like he's the guy that followed Jim Lee on X-Men. Like when Jim Lee left that, he took over, and to me it was flawless. Like it was a wonderful transition, and it's hard to tell the difference when you first start kind of reading. If someone were to pick it up and don't really know who Andy Kubert is, you think it's still Jim Lee drawing, because his style is not too far from it. But the way he works with this, and just looking at it's fucking beautiful. I hold it in the highest regard in terms of like Predator, which is my favorite film, and like the quality of like Predator and Predator 2 and Batman vs. Predator are probably the best stories of the Predator that I've seen. Like I read Concrete Jungle, which is a sequel to the first Predator. I read the novelization of it and I enjoyed that, but going back and reading the comic book, doesn't quite hold up. It's almost kind of like it's a bit rushed. It's a great idea, and everything that Concrete Jungle is pretty much what Predator 2 took ideas from and put it in that movie. So I have to thank Concrete Jungle because that gave us Predator 2. When I just completely went off on a complete tangent, but at least I kept it all Predator based.
You kept it all Predator based.
Yeah.
So the mob bosses here talking shit to each other. So what do you do, Leo? Sell bull to the slaughterhouse for dog meat? You always were a bad loser. And it's like, I'll slaughter you and that pantywaist ballet dancer you brought in. You wait. So it's just them talking shit. Meanwhile, we get some conversation with Bruce and Alfred, where Bruce is he's intrigued by this. He wants to see where this goes, especially with kind of Gordon ruffling the feathers and saying what he said in front of everybody and how that will go forward. So the champ, he's had he's ecstatic, but not only that, he's laying with his girlfriend. It's not really established here if it's his wife.
But it's obviously it's I don't as a kid I just assumed it was they were together, they were a couple. This was not this is his girl for the night or something. It was just but I got Predator 2 big time from this sequence.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So they're laying in bed. She's happy that they're all alone. He's happy about it too, but given the circumstance of who he works for and who he defeated, he's got some guards kind of watching out to make sure nothing happens, right? That doesn't go so well.
No. And I remember seeing this as a kid and just thinking this was like not scary, but it was like, oh my God, because they're naked in bed.
Yeah.
It makes it, to me as a kid, I'm watching it just makes him look. It's courageous, but it made him so vulnerable. And then I felt so bad for her that, just seeing what happens, like the infamous net weapon is shot out, and then you just see his spine and skull just removed, and she's hearing all of it.
Yeah, while she's in the bathroom. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, Jesus Christ. It's just, and you could see all this playing out in a live action. I could see Michael Jai White being this champ.
Oh, that would be such a waste, though, if he's just there for just such a brief amount of time.
But but I could totally see Michael Jai White, with this beautiful woman and just like, what the fuck, and just goes at it because he's Michael Jai White, and because it's the Predator, it's gonna be a quick kill, but it would look awesome on screen. That
good payday for him. I
mean, it's just I just can't help but envision Michael Jai playing this character. It's not saying like it's a way. I just feel like, I don't know. It just would look awesome because he's such an imposing, human being anyway.
Right.
And the Predators see, and this is where this is kind of where people think, oh, the Predator only attacks people with weapons. No. I love this because this established that the Predator's watching warriors that are fighters without weapons. They're hand-to-hand fighters, and the Predator's going after this guy. He uses the net, but he's not like he's using his shoulder cannon or any other tactical weaponry like the boomerang blade or his spear. This is him going right after the guy.
Yeah.
Just which is something I like that. It's more about what is the greatest fighter. Like the greatest hunt is going to be this guy and this guy. And these guys don't have no weapons. They're just fighters.
And you see that there in her eye in that bottom right shot of the skull being removed, which is absolutely crazy. So we get here. Next, we got a little party going on, and Batman is he's suiting up in the back of the car. And I'll just go ahead and read this here. I gather our city's leading pugilist was involved, though the commissioner is hardly in the habit of lighting the signal for mere fisticuffs, because they're there at the party. The bat signal is shown. Alfred shows up. It's like, sir, that prior commitment, we got to go. Which going back to if they did an animated version of this could be a scene where you could expand upon, have a little more dialogue as he's changing in the back of the car.
Yeah.
Good
and
hunting. Go ahead.
I was just saying, I could see, more dialogue of like thinking that, okay, is it Bogan? I'm trying to remember the other mob boss's name. It's Brogan? Is it Brogan? I think it's Brogan. and retaliating tonight, like already acting quickly
Yes.
in some great, grandiose way. But it's like this is not going to be a simple, quick robbery, or he called me a name, so hit the bat signal. This has got to be pretty bad.
Yeah.
And just seeing, it's so easy to see this play out.
It really does.
In a theatrical way, even if it's like Michael Keaton's Batman, or an animated version with Kevin Conroy doing the voice of just how Predator 2 is shot and edited, and like you see the sequence, and then it cuts to the police showing up and bodies. You just think about what you see in Predator 2 with the Colombians get hit at the beginning of the movie, and then the penthouse with the Jamaicans, all these crime scenes, in all these buildings, in these areas that are they're more they're not jungle, they're city life, and just seeing this stuff take place. That's why seeing Predator 2 made this so easy, even more easier to picture this playing out visually.
No, I agree. And as I'm reading, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna have to watch Predator 2 real soon. But here in the bottom right corner, I love this. Good hunting, Master Bruce.
Yeah.
I love this shot of Batman right
Oh my God, it's fucking rocks, dude.
Yeah, so he shows
and
up
he kills it.
He shows up to the crime scene. The girlfriend / wife is like, no, not him again. So she's thinking that he's the one that
he was the killer
that did this. But as you said before, you see in this panel the glass broken at the top where the Predator infiltrated. You see all the blood there. Whether in live action or animated form, especially this right here, the penthouse scene, Predator 2, it just brings you there.
All you got to
I gotta watch that part again.
Yeah, the penthouse scene in Predator 2 when Vega gets killed by the Jamaicans and the Jamaicans are killed. Like it's so easy to picture. Even though the Predator's already in the penthouse at the time, but the way he drops through the skylight at the beginning of Predator 2, and then you see this massacre inside the penthouse. You just got to combine the first two action sequences of Predator 2 in this, and it's so easy to envision all this playing out.
Yeah,
and plus the atmosphere of the Predator crashing down at night in a penthouse and attacking this naked couple, and this great fighter who's just lying in bed.
Yeah, he just won the title.
Yeah, and just like the Predator says, okay, this is the ultimate fighter. Like, I'm going to go after him right now, and it's nothing. It is. It's just already this Predator's ego has been boosted pretty quickly.
The other thing that's fantastic about it, and when I said peanut butter and jelly earlier, Batman, world's greatest detective, right? So now he's got to figure out what exactly is going on. At first, he's kind of has the assumption that, all right. I mean, what would anyone think in this scenario? You put him there, he was listening to these mob bosses. Your first instinct is, they put a hit out on him, whatever. Yeah. But you get to the dialogue here. Go on, detective, right? The killer came in the skylight and forced King upside that wall. Marks on his body looked like a net was used. A net? Coming to the bone. Then his head and spinal column were removed. He was hurting a lot, which I can't imagine how painful that would be.
Which it could go either way. Like typically, you think the Predator has killed his victim before he removes the head and spinal column, but it's no reason to think that Well, hell, in the shitty like Predators movie where that convict, like his spinal column is pulled out while he's alive.
Yeah.
So it's easy to think that King Michael J. White here would have. It just would have made it more epic if he was still alive. Oh fuck, man.
Yeah. But going to what Tyler was talking about, expanding upon the mythology of the Predator, we can't find his trophy belt either. Oh, and there's something else there. His hands are missing. So, the Predator's taking trophies.
Yeah, and hands too, which is kind of reminiscent of poachers in Africa, like killing gorillas and taking their hands and their heads and shit like that. So, why not the hands?
Yeah.
Plus, the hands are the weapons of these fighters, so it makes sense for the hands to be removed.
Yeah. And we get this more dialogue with Gordon talking to Batman, but as you see, Predator is lurching.
Is perched up just like in Predator 2 watching Danny Glover. I tell you, I'm so fucking like pumped as we're talking about this. Like going through this, I'm genuinely excited. Like
You're gonna go watch Predator 2 when we're done with this, aren't you?
I might have to. I mean, I got it on my phone. I can watch it right now if I want to.
All right, well, you go ahead and just put that movie on and go ahead and start it as we're.
Oh my god! Like there's so many sequences that have left impressions on me in that movie. I can't wait to the day we revisit this film and give it an up to date discussion or commentary or something like that. That that's worthy of the film. Which we did that.
Yeah, we need to do that sometime soon to just. Yeah, it needs to be remade. If Hollywood can do it, so can we.
Yeah, we just guarantee doing better.
we bounce back now to the other side of the mob and the fighter who is no longer champion, and he's been given. They're kind of just talking down to him, basically telling me he's trash. He needs to do better. And Batman shows up, and this entire time. And you were right. Broden is the name. You're a loser, Broden. Predator is there, like hot on the heels, right on top of him, and we get some action. Another great shot of Batman. One could say here in the middle panel, the cowl not as strongly drawn, but I still like that shot.
That was the shot that stuck out to me as a kid. Was him kneeing that one boxer,
the trainee,
boxer,
these up and comers.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the backhand is awesome too. I mean, because it's done so simple, but I mean, it's just like knowing Batman's just barely turning his head. It's like Michael Keaton knocking the fuck out of one of Jack Napier's gangsters at Axis Chemicals. Like, it's so easy to just picture him like doing that without even really making too much of a move.
Yeah, Batman's trying to get answers, and they're essentially like, "Hey, we didn't do anything, but thanks for the sports cast update."
Yeah.
Move on to the next, and minimal dialogue here. Don't really need it, but this is kind of fun that Predator is watching Batman, but Batman, it's a no shape, wrong guy next round. I thought was very interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things that you see in Predator and Predator 2. Like, obviously our hero, like it catches Predator's interest and just begins to watch. Like in Predator 2, like he sees Danny Glover in action, but doesn't go after him first because obviously that is the prime. That's the biggest prize of all. You go after the other stuff before you go up to the big one, and like it's like Batman piques his interest and just he's following and observing because there's obviously, it's fun when you bring in what you've learned in Predator 1 and 2 that the Predator's been coming to this planet for, I mean, centuries. And they see something like this, like, what is this? I've never seen this before. There's something very unique that piques the Predator's interest. That this is the alpha male of this area of this hunting ground. Like this is the biggest prize of all. This is the lion I must kill.
Yeah,
And
I like the idea that he's following Batman, and Batman changed out of the costume, and the car speeds off, and he's trying to piece this all together.
Yeah. It's like they're both kind of like, he's following what the Predator's doing, the Predator's following what he's doing, and then the Predator kills a cat in the mix just because he's either hungry or is like, you know what, this is a particular Predator that takes no prisoners. Like he has a code of honor, but then, as we go along, we'll kind of see that it's kind of questionable at times.
Yeah. This next page right here, this is when I'm thinking Keaton's Batman.
Oh yeah, easy, very easy.
The pose right there with the hand on the chin and the bottom of the face as he's watching the news reports. Alfred is cleaning, and they just have some more dialogue. Bruce is trying to figure everything out. They're just talking to each other, and I like little moments like this. Once again, another scene. If you're doing an animated version movie of this, a scene you could expand upon, have a little more dialogue here.
Yeah,
that would make sense and kind of open up more. And once again, Bat Signal. up in the air. So I kind of wondered how much time had passed between Bruce getting in the car and this scene right here. Couldn't maybe a couple hours,
Yeah, I'd say
if
this is
that.
like this is going to be one long ass night just because this stuff is happening. I mean, yet the boxing match, and then the King gets killed that night, and then the same night the former champ is taken out. So yeah, all this is one busy ass night for Batman and Gotham's finest. It's God. But it just obviously this is something that's it's what we envision Bruce Wayne doing a lot. That when
Yeah.
he is in the zone, there is no punch out time.
No, not at all. We finally get a good shot of the Bat Cave.
Yeah,
which I always like how they either implement the giant coin or you get the T-Rex.
yeah,
It's usually, and sometimes you get both, or it's
yeah.
one or the other. But I do like the dialogue here of the car's been fueled and tuned, sir, and the onboard systems checked. On the utility belt has had its regular service. I only wish Gotham were as responsive to your efforts. So
Which I go ahead.
I know. I just that's what you want out of Alfred. Just the good stuff. I mean, look here in the middle panel too. I really like it's like Batman putting on the belt.
Yeah, seeing the procedure, just seeing it all good. Like he is, which I felt like he's never stopped being Batman, even when he's at home. Like this is all. It's just all right. Now I'm going to go, put the uniform on. Like he's the detective work has not stopped. So just knowing that the minute Bruce returns home from the previous outing, Alfred goes right into gassing up the Batmobile, checking everything, cleaning everything, getting everything ready for the next mission. Just knowing that it may be one of those nights where Bruce doesn't come home till maybe 7 a.m.
Yeah. And I think I'm gonna. Let me move it back to this. I think OBS is going to be weird because it's saying 17 out of 17. Yeah. I have all of them there, but for whatever reason.
Okay.
No, I'll get the rest of it up.
No worries.
Let me put this back up. There we go.
So that's what you look like.
Yeah. I don't know why, because all of it was there. Whatever. So which is kind of oddly enough about the halfway point.
Yeah.
Of the book here. Yeah. I already told Emily earlier today. I was like, yeah, after I read that, I watched Predator 2 last night, but then I fell asleep.
She gonna watch it with you?
Well, I told her I wanted to finish it, but I think I might just restart it because it's not a super long movie.
No, and it's still so fucking good, and it's just something like around the 2-hour mark. It doesn't require 3 fucking hours.
See if that actually puts everything up there. All right, let me switch that. All right, we might be good now. Hopefully, we're good. I don't know why it didn't just have it all, unless there's some sort of like limit to image slideshows, which I wouldn't think that there would be. But nevertheless, all right, let me switch back. Yeah, it's just so damn good. There's actually another thing too I wanted to pop up that.
Yes.
No, because John is here. He said, Predator 2 had just come out 2 years prior to this comic, likely why it was so fresh in people's minds.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Predator 2 came out in 1990. I think November or December of 1990. Yeah.
So it turns out after Batman left, Predator went back and killed all these guys. So now both sides are gone. The former champ is dead, along with the current champ. Previous Batman's here again, and but we got an eyewitness, and this one can talk. An eyewitness, and then building on once again. There's the dialogue here. Is it on this page or is it on the?
Well, he's talking about that. Of course, I probably should bring it up.
All right. So it's here on the next page, where as the Predator's watching, the reason that this guy was spared, the reason that he's here, blind and old as I am, guess I wasn't worth killing.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Is pretty horrific in itself, knowing that this old man who's been around the business a long time hears, and we don't know how blind, but just knowing he is,
I would say totally blind.
yeah, he looks like he's completely blind. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
because you see here
just
on the bottom, towards the bottom left, just kind of.
yeah, I mean, he looks like
blind.
he's just, yeah, his eyes are gone, like totally shut. So the man sat there in absolute terror and listened to all these people he's helped train or help that he's been around all get slaughtered, and hearing him beg and scream like, how do you, it's just one of those things. It's one of those things that builds up the terror of what the situation is in this comic here.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
that,
even he said about all I heard was screaming and grown men, trained fighters pleading for God's mercy.
Yeah,
So,
that's yeah.
You imagine grown men screaming like little children just out of fear. What especially it's one thing seeing it, but for him to only be able to hear it, that had to have been pretty crazy.
Oh my God, it kind of makes you wonder how that man didn't kill over.
Yeah.
Just like his heart just gave out from like, oh my God, I'm listening to all these guys being slaughtered left and right.
Yeah. And Batman, of course, taking samples, doing the detective thing, trying to figure all of this out. We move on to the next page. Batman's standing here. Gordon is here. Get your man the hell out of here, Captain. That's an order. But, sir, and Predator, you see here, about ready to strike on the blind man. So I guess listening to him and hearing him talk, I guess maybe negates his life being spared.
I see. I don't know, because it's almost like, a hunter just sees like a weak one left and
bait.
Just
maybe using him as bait,
or just testing the situation. Like, Batman's there. Let me see how this one in particular that intrigues me, how he responds to my. Which is probably the biggest reason, because look, if the Predator wanted this guy dead before, obviously
he would have done it. Yeah, so it's more about testing Batman to see if he's up to snuff. Yeah, how will he go and save this guy?
And this, I can see this playing out in live action. Like, he dives, you hear that blast that the Predator shoulder cannon makes in the first two films, and then Gotham's finally unloading their M16s all up on the roof, just like it's like, just like when Arnold and his crew start unloading in the jungle, just like blasting all up at the roof there, just out of
Gordon
sheer panic.
Yelling out, "Hold your fire, damn it!"
Yeah.
Oh
my God, this is it's just unbelievable. So
she actually says here on the next page, "Hold your fire, damn it! We've got a street full of people here." And then Batman tending to our fallen blind man. You see Batman look up. We get the panel. Now it's on his chest.
Yeah.
And then you get the heat seeking, like the heat vision.
And that shot to me of seeing Batman in the infrared with the target on his chest, that always stuck out to me as a kid. It was just such a
that would have made a cool cover. Just that.
Well, and actually, if you look at the back of those comics you have there, that's what that is. The bat symbol with the targeting system. I'll open up one there.
All right. Actually, I'll show it off once I bring my camera back. No, the back of the first issue doesn't have that. It just has
maybe it's in one. It's either it's an insert or it's on the back of one of them. I specifically remember seeing that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Yeah. But this bottom panel kicks ass. I said, "What the hell are you playing at?" Batman says, "I'm not sure, but I think I'm starting to understand the rules."
Yeah. Oh my God, that's just so fucking cool, man.
And you just picture it. Now that you think about it, it would have been cool to have taken, even though Conroy had nothing to do with it, take the first issue of that when we went and saw him and just have him sign that.
Oh my God!
Or just get him to say it.
Oh yeah, would you mind saying this bit of dialogue for this one shot just to hear? Oh man!
Rest in peace, Kevin.
That's what we got to do when we get to heaven. We got to say, hey Kevin, would you mind reenacting this comic book for me?
Yeah. Back in the Batcave once again. I'm thinking Keaton here. Alfred's cleaning the suit, checking the suit over. Batman is the samples he's taken. He's looking at those under a microscope. King, the boxing champion, is killed face to face. Same with Bersaglio and a room full of fighters, all defeated in hand-to-hand combat. Yet 2 armed guards are simply shot and a terrified girl spared. A blind old ex-fighter is passed over, then casually picked off. Our murderer is choosing his prey, acting with some savage code of honor. So,
God,
yeah,
you just love. Even because at least with with this like Predator 2, like we are aware of it, but there's some tweaks here and there that make you think like, okay, we're waiting for our hero to get caught up with what we already know, but then you get these curveballs of like the Predator sparing a pregnant woman, a child, or a blind man, and then suddenly decides to fucking kill him.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, it goes to what we were talking about. That I think now it's more about seeing how Batman
Yeah,
reacts to the scenarios, like planting bait, seeing how he's going to react, just learning, preparing himself.
you're building up the hype for the ultimate kill. When you're a
Well,
hunter, you want
because
the biggest game.
that, and he's trying. Yeah, he's trying. Does he? Is this the one? Is this the one that's going to stack above the rest?
Yeah, am I going to go back to my planet and say I killed
Yeah,
Batman?
yeah,
And like, what's Batman? Like, and I'm it just kind of figure like a lot of this stuff is which in the sequel to this, um, the set. Well, you know what? Yeah,
Save that because
yeah,
I'm gonna end up reading it. But he asked Alfred, "Hey, I got a mission for you. I want you to sniff around junkyards on East End. Found more rust flakes at the gym, but these carried automobile paint and mud of a type found only on deposits east of the river. I see, Master Bruce, but why junkyards? The rust magnetizes. A large electromagnetic would do that. The type of scrap metal is moved around with. I'm going to go to the big meeting. The scent of violent power must just prove irresistible to whatever's stalking the city."
God, just watching that detective work done so. I mean, it's just perfection. Watching Batman put together how the Predator works, or where it's residing at, the connections, like where. Oh God, it's a work of art.
Yeah. So he goes to the Squire Center where, as Bruce, he's just talking with all these other bigwigs. It's like, oh, it's a shame what happened to all those guys. Puts a suit on, and then here we go. Predator's going after Yeager now, and taking that out, or as we'll see here, Batman. Especially here in the top. So he's listening in on all of this. He's planted the bug, either planted the bug or he's just got, of course, has the gadgets where he can just
his mic can pick up from a pretty good distance.
Yeah, but
like
I
inside a room.
Also love, much like the films, we still haven't fully seen the Predator yet. It's that cloaked.
Yeah,
effect.
and just knowing that now the Predator's going after what, as we would probably say, tribes.
Yes.
Like these two fighting tribes, just like the Jamaicans and the Colombians in Predator 2. You got these two mob families. He sees them as these two opposing tribes with weapons, and they're the top of the line, top of the food chain in Gotham City here. And like, this is going to be the biggest hunt, killing these two factions.
And speaking of weapons, here we go.
Here we go. It's Predator 2 Unleashed here.
Yeah. So we're getting all the blades. Batman's like, all right, it's time to bust this up. You have Predator dialogue here at the bottom. All I need. You see all the blood too.
That really like emphasized how serious this was as when I was a kid, because obviously you see it in the movies, but you see it in a Batman book.
Mm-hmm.
I had not seen that much blood in a comic book up to this point. It left such an impression. Like, it didn't traumatize me or anything like that. It was just like, oh my God, like this is some serious shit here. Yeah, it really was. I was just awestruck looking at all this going down.
Speaking of awestruck,
look at this, man.
There we go. Predator towering over top of Batman, with Batman kind of about to turn, as also there's still the gun firing going on. And then we got everybody. I like this shot too, with the guy with, I guess, Predator, right? Falling out of the high rise. Yeah. Batman looking down, and you see the crowd down below with Gordon. What the hell happened on the next page here? Yeah. So and then Batman with the blood.
Yeah, seeing the blood, like, okay, like what I'm dealing with here, it does bleed. This is how it bleeds.
And if it's vulnerable, bleeds, and Tyler,
we can kill it.
Yeah, there we go.
We can kill it.
So back to the scrapyard. where Batman is like, yes, I definitely where this is. Batman goes, hey, strung up body. We have the skulls. We have the belt. We have the hands. The trophies are there. Batman sees this stuff. Predator, of course, iconic. You could probably hear this if you watch the movies enough
All of
time.
this, the sound of him walking, because it's just because they're so heavy, but just hearing the gas tubes,
Yeah, that's
oh God, and
yeah,
just Batman just sitting and watching all of this,
yeah.
like and observance, like, oh my God,
And
this is
I
just,
like the yellow, the eyes on the cow
I do
to be
too,
yellow.
yeah,
Yeah,
it looks so good, and that one shot of the interior of the trailer,
yeah, yeah.
of seeing
The
the
trophies.
worker and his dog hung up, and
Yep.
then
The
it's such a very atmospheric shot of what this is the Predator's home base in Gotham. I picked this place to bring all my trophies back and skin everything and collect everything, and it's because the Predators always do that. They always have like a spot that they constantly go back to and kind of reassess or embrace and enjoy the game of the day,
yeah.
and just seeing the Predator begin the classic, repair the wounds of battle, which they are going to run into from time to time.
Yeah. And this is when Batman decides to attack. It's time to jump in.
Yeah, and I love the Predator. It's so easy, quick to see the Predator like
Hop up and
immediately.
immediately
Yeah,
grab. Yeah. Oh yeah.
God. Oh my
Once
God.
again, no dialogue, all action. You see some
I'm
red blood.
just like I feel like I'm reading this for the first time. Like I'm just, I'm just so fucking giddy here talking about this, man. Oh shit.
Yep.
It's just the mood and the shadow and just like seeing the Predator look up and like, what the fuck is that? And
Yeah, and Batman's
crash.
yeah.
Just
I'm gonna release the magnet to drop these scraps on top of you.
yeah, just knowing Batman, he does not come. There's no fucking around here. Like Batman knows this is something beyond him, and there's no room to negotiate, talk about. Just take it out now.
Yep. And as Batman goes to investigate Predator in the wreckage,
Yeah, blast him and
blast him. See you, son of a. And this is how
yeah,
this ends. This is how the
and
first issue ends.
yeah, and seeing Batman like because the second issue opens with this here,
Yeah.
and it was something to see as a kid, seeing Batman looking like that, all beaten and bloodied. And I had not seen this issue, so to me, I'm seeing Predator holding a bloody Batman. Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Like, and seeing how this all played out. Oh my God, it was just. And what's so good about this is that, I mean, it doesn't spoil anything, but the fight or what happens there puts Batman out of action for damn near an entire issue of a 3-part series, because it really plays up the severity of what the Predator can do, and what Batman has to do to compete with something like this. That's what makes this whole miniseries, like, there are stakes. Batman is put out of action. This is not just to get up and, well, Alfred, stitch me up here. I got to get back out there. Fuck no. That's not what happens here, people. And Batman realizes I can't just run back out there in my uniform once I feel back up. I have to up the ante here. I got to compete with this thing on its own terms.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's I that's why if you have the NECA 2-pack set that came out a few years back, or you've seen it,
Yeah.
might give you an idea of what's going to happen.
I
At the
should have bought
conclusion.
it, and I didn't like a fucking.
Oh my God, that was a
you bought
must.
you bought that one? Did you bought the Superman one too?
Yeah,
Right,
because
Superman.
Superman
Alien?
looks so fucking good, like a Superman done by NECA. Like, why aren't they doing more superheroes instead of McFarlane with their shitty sculpts?
How much does this go for now? Do I even want to know? That's well, the Superman Alien one's not as bad.
No, I remember it being kind of like the one because it's a crossover that's not as legendary as Batman versus Predator.
The Batman Predator one's gonna cost you a couple $100.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, it wasn't cheap when it came out. Like, I think it was like $70, $80. I think.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, I would kind of like to just have the Batman from the set.
If you could just find the Batman and just pick one of the many of Predators that NECA's put out.
Yeah, you can make it work that way.
Yeah.
Blow all your money.
Yeah. Or someone could come to PowerCon and say, "Hey Nathan, I heard you were in need."
Hey, yeah, that's the thing too. If you guys have that set, you don't want it anymore. You want to just gift it to me? Oh,
Yeah,
let me
I
tell
mean,
you.
Nathan's
Yeah.
falls on hard times like Joe does too all the time.
Here's the alternate
Yeah,
painted cover. You got that and that.
yeah. And I think they were all done by. I'm not sure if it was done by the same artist. They kind of looked like they might have been, because the second and third cover, I don't know, because I have no idea who the artist was who did the all three variant covers, or all four.
Yeah.
Because the first one only has the connecting covers there, but the other two have got Batman fighting Predator on a clock tower, and then the Predator tearing the top of the Batmobile off.
Yeah, I'm seeing and as we talk about issue 2 and 3, because I'm kind of thinking maybe now the next couple of episodes of Spinner Rack.
So let's just complete this.
Let's actually finish this one.
Yeah, we probably should,
because Secret Wars is 12 issues.
It's 12 issues. Yeah, I feel like that's something we can kind of cherry pick.
This is a little more obtainable here. We only got the 3. We could be done with it.
And if anything, maybe on the next one, just combine 2 and 3.
Yeah, let's do that. The next one, let's go ahead and do issue 2 and 3, because once we got to talking about this first issue, we went through it pretty quick.
Yeah.
We
got our kind of off topic.
Yeah, our Richard Gere.
Yeah, our Richard Gere. Yeah, his wonderful legendary filmography about how awesome Unfaithful was, and how he stole the show from Bruce Willis and the Jackal with his shitty Irish accent. I'll go with you to see Isabella. You decent later. Fuck you.
I'll have to get some context, and Philippe, feel free to kind of let me know more. I'm calling my dad after this. That's just what this comic does to me. So have to kind of elaborate on why exactly you would call your dad. Is it?
Because, I'm going to assume because you think it's awesome, you want to share it with your dad. Is that what? Is that what? Yeah. Put that in the chat.
Yeah, put that in the chat. And
yeah,
we'll read it off. We had a drop off of viewers, but I'll go ahead and put this out there. If anyone out there listening, you want to toss a couple questions, we'll take a couple questions and we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Yeah, I'm watching Predator 2 tonight. Whether I'm starting where I fell asleep and just finishing it, or restarting it, we'll see where the night takes me. But yeah, I'm gonna,
or at least go back and watch the fight in the penthouse, or the attack of the Colombians.
Yeah,
and then the death of King Willie, and then wherever you left off at.
I fell asleep, I think, right at close to the death of.
Oh God, you couldn't make it to at least the death of King Willie. Shit, dude.
No, I think no, I fell asleep right after it.
Okay.
Oh, okay. My dad bought me and him all 3 issues when I was a child.
Okay. That's awesome.
Reach out, man. Reach out and be like, hey, reminisce about those times.
Yeah, it's awesome to have that kind of connection, because I was like that with my pawpaw about this series, and my dad was a big Predator fan, still is. So it's that's what's so cool when this kind of material. It's like this came out when we were kids, so you kind of felt like your dad's or grandparents probably share that same enthusiasm for a lot of this stuff.
Yeah,
plus they were all big Keaton Batman fans too. My pawpaw loved that film. My dad loved that film. So that was Batman was a big deal in the family as well back then as well.
Well, all of my time with comics as a kid revolved around my dad and I collecting. Like that was a collective thing. Is we're going to LT's comic shop, Dad seeing there's this new shitty character that's come out, but he's going to get issue 1 anyway, just in case, because you never know.
Right? Hey, it's Kool-Aid Man #1 could be worth $1 million here.
Yeah. But he would do that, or just anytime something big was coming up. Oh, we got to get this. We got to get this. It's like, or other things that kind of had happened just as we were starting to collect, or slightly prior, like Batman: Death in the Family. Oh, we got to get all those. Got to get the trade paperback of it as well. And just tons of fond memories of that. Going to LTs, and this was also back in the day when you could just walk into a grocery store. And the comics are there, like the mainline comics. They're there. Yeah.
On a spinner rack, or where the magazines were at. Food Line had a spinner rack, and then they were also where the magazines were at. So there was 2 different locations for them at one point, or at different times.
It wasn't a sparse selection either. Like they had everything. 7-Eleven, going into 7-Eleven, getting a comic, getting a Slurpee, playing Turtles Arcade. That's those are memories that you can't replicate anymore.
And I still go by certain buildings and reminisce about purchasing Marvel trading cards or comics in the summer or during the school year, and just those first few years of the early '90s when Batman's coming out, the live action Turtles movies come out, Dick Tracy's come out, Robin Hood, Rocketeer, and then the trading cards of Marvel, being made available at Walmart and various other places, gas stations, and it's a wonderful time. Like I still wish I had grown up in the '80s, but I'm so thankful that me and Nathan grew up at the time that we did, because we caught the tail end of the '80s and then the impact of movies, comics, and toys in the '90s.
Yeah,
where trading cards were in the convenience store at Myrtle Beach and just buying Robin Hood, Rocketeer, RoboCop 2, Gremlins 2, Dick Tracy trading cards, and getting comic books, at random, roadside gas station on your way to the beach. Just, oh my God, it was just, comics were so much fun back then, dude.
And like $2 to $5 action figures, or you get G.I. Joes or whatever, or Turtles.
$3 for a G.I. Joe, man.
Dude, so my shirt here, I was in Barnes & Noble when I bought that Criterion. I go to check out, and the guy was like, dude, is that Toxic Avenger? And I was like, yeah. He's like, dude, I love those movies. I'm like, have you ever watched Toxic Crusaders? It's the animated show. He's like, they made an animated show? And I was like, yeah.
It's really good, too.
I was like, for a kid's cartoon, it's got that.
It's pretty fucking witty. It's got a lot of good humor in it, yeah.
Yeah, and I told him, I was like, yeah, I'll check that out, man. And he was wanting to paint a picture for you. So he's got hair about my length. He's wearing a button-up collared shirt that has skulls all over it, and he has safety pin earrings. Just to paint a picture for you.
Wow.
So, he looked like a dude that's watched his fair share of Trauma movies. So I'm like, well, then how the fuck do you not know it?
Yeah.
But no, he was loud about it too. I walk up and he's like, did you find everything? Dude! I was like, oh, yeah.
It's like Billy Madison seeing the kid piss his pants. Dude!
Oh. It was kind of like that. Like it kind of made me jump for a second. But it's cool. It's nice seeing that in like genuine enthusiasm. And we're not gonna go down that track at all. But Philippe has a question. Kind of feel like I know the answer for this. Are you guys excited for Wolverine versus Predator? That's happening in September. They might fuck it up, but I gotta give it a chance.
I remember hearing a brief thing, but I'm like, I can't see anybody treating Predator with Predator versus Wolverine makes all the sense in the world. If you're going to have a Marvel character take on the Predator, Wolverine is by far. You could throw Sabretooth into the mix,
And they might.
They may, but I feel like that has the potential of being a masterpiece, but it won't, because modern Marvel, it's just too, they're too, I don't know, their artists are, as I said before, they're not good artists, and they don't have good writers. They just don't. I've read enough of the modern stuff here and there to I don't like what I pick up.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's a shame, because this could be, that idea could be as good as this. That's how much potential that idea has.
And it's kind of crazy mentioning that. You would think that with how the MCU blew up, that would have, I guess that's not how it used to be, though, because other than your hardcore people that were either reading them as kids in the 80s and 90s, or even prior to that, people that have collected comics, that I feel like it's still a niche market, because comics haven't exploded like they did in the 90s, which ultimately kind of killed off the interest in, almost killed the industry entirely. So
yeah, and I think it's just kind of gotten to where, and I don't know why, and maybe it's just because when I fell out, I don't know if other people, obviously it's still going, because they're still making comics and everything, but it is surprising that as popular as those films are, that comics have not benefited at all. Yeah. Like I'm sure there have been some who sought out a Nick Fury book or a Captain America book, Iron Man, or Guardians of the Galaxy because they love these current movies, but it has not rejuvenated the business at all.
Yeah.
It's like, unless you find a comic store, which
few and far between these days.
Yeah, they are.
At least around here. Now, if you're living in a bigger city, you probably have a better selection.
I just feel
But
like,
even then, like the biggest drawing factor to those stores for a comic collector is just how good's the back issue, the vintage selection. Not so
and to me that
much
the
new
new
comic book
shit,
day.
because and unfortunately there's not like a renaissance of artists that is drawing people in like in the '90s when you got McFarlane, Eric Larson, the guys who went on to make Image, all those guys, Rob Liefeld and Mark Silvestri, and I mean just all those guys that were leaving their mark. And then you have Andy who drew this. Like it was just these onslaught of these artists who were just kicking ass with whatever title they were put on. It's not like that with Marvel and DC right now. I feel like they still rely on all these old school guys to come back and do a throwback cover or a print cover.
It's like wrestling.
Yeah, it's like we need them. Well,
like poetry.
So
we got to bring the Godfather back, but he can't have the hose. Can't do that anymore. PG, like bring Stone Cold back in. Slaughter and DiBiase, bring them in.
Let's for one night only. Bring back the Sheik. Well, the Sheik's dead now. Oh well, shit. Bring back Nikolai Volkov. Yeah.
Actually, isn't he dead too?
I thought he was still alive because I remember him talking about the passing of Sheik.
No, he died in 2018.
Oh, what the fuck am I talking about? Then?
I don't. Maybe you're talking Nikita Koloff. Maybe that's who you're talking about.
Maybe it's Sergeant Slaughter talking about the death or the passing of Sheik. But anyway, I can't see Marvel the way they are afraid, and that's why I felt like Marvel taking on Alien and Predator, they castrate the characters. Like they're not going to allow these characters who built a reputation of destroying human beings and put them with their Marvel characters and allow them to be depicted in a way that is connected with the movies. Yeah. I just don't see them doing justice. Now maybe you got some people out there who've read some of the Alien and Predator stuff, which I think it's been kind of minimal. I don't think it's been that much, but I haven't really checked because I'm like they're going to fuck it up. I'm not going to give my time of day. I do not care what they do with it because they're just they taken Predator's balls right here, hold them right, and they just snipped them.
Well, yeah. I think that was kind of the benefits too of Dark Horse back then doing this over DC. It gives them that. All right, you're gonna do this. It's under this banner, not under DC, under these rules. So okay, blood, fine. It's essentially, even though it's Batman versus Predator. Predator is kind of the star, like
well, that was something too. That was one of the things that was discussed too. Is that when you're doing a crossover, like how do you decide whose guy wins? Because obviously Predator is a flagship Dark Horse character. Batman's a flagship character. You can't. Naturally, Batman's going to win. But if that's a discussion where Dark Horse is like, well, no, that's one of our cash cows. We can't have the Predator. Yeah. It's like, but he lost in 2 of his movies. So it's like technically, he can lose. But it's one of those things that like with Spider-Man, Superman, and Batman and Hulk, and Spider-Man meets Batman. Like, who's going to come? Which they naturally don't, like Spider-Man and Batman. They don't fight. They just cross paths and
then decide to team up.
Yeah, decide to team up, which kind of makes more sense. Even though everyone wants to see a lot of them fight.
No, I'd rather see them team up.
Yeah, well, they fight and then team up. But that, as we've discussed, you and I've talked about too, like superheroes, like sell the cover. We got Thor fighting the Hulk. And it's all over a misunderstanding. Then they team up to take on, Tyrannus at the end of the issue or something like that. It's always a misunderstanding of some kind,
I mean, it's as we talked about last week on And Now for Something Different with Savage Sword. You have to make those covers make you want to pick it up.
Yeah, it's
what draws you. Buy it or stand there and read a couple pages until the clerk tells you, hey, you got to fuck off and buy it or get out.
Yeah. Which only happened to me one time at Dad's Day Off Hobbies, and my mom got really pissed off about that.
What book were you reading?
It was Spider-Man Classics. It was the first appearance of Mysterio, and it was when they were reprinting all the first 20 issues of Spider-Man, which was a big deal to have a reprint of.
Yeah.
And and me and my brother, we were good about being careful with comics when we picked them up, but this guy he didn't even say, hey, how you all doing today? He was talking to some guy at the counter. I pick it up, and he's like, "Oh, only limit 2 pages." And I looked at him, and my mom was quietly like, what the fuck?
And then and immediately just put the book back.
Yeah, I think after that, it made me feel like very uncomfortable. And my brother, he was, pretty young, but he wasn't going in there licking his fingers and rubbing like he was, a lot more respectful of comic books for a kid at that age. And my mom was like, she's like, come on, guys. Like she didn't say anything. She was just really put off that the only thing the guy said to us was 2-page limit.
It's like that fucking asshole at the basement toy store.
Oh yeah, that jerk off Justin. Yeah,
Justin. Yeah, former.
Yeah, don't touch anything. Hurry up! I got to go sell some pot here in a little bit.
Yeah, I wrestled Matt Hardy. Here's
you
a picture.
You want? Yeah, here. It'd be $10 for this picture of me with Matt Hardy. I'll autograph it for you for $5.
What an asshole! He's part of the reason we can never find anything on our toy hunts.
Yeah, he just hogs everything and never opens his damn shop. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, well, the shop's not there anymore.
No, I heard he moved it. Or was going to be moving it, because I felt like I've ran into so many people who've done business with him or tried to do business with him, and he just eats shit all day.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see where he's at now. Huh?
It's like you can show up Monday through Friday only by appointment only.
Yeah, I wonder if he's still doing that shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an old blog post.
As sketchy as that guy is, that guy's still managing to do business. I don't know how he's doing it.
I don't know either. Yeah, it's just like, oh, here's the trade-ins. Look at the trade-ins. It's never like, hey, I got this for sale. So look at all these trade-ins. What a loser. Fuck that guy.
Yes.
All right. With that, we'll go ahead and wrap it up, because well, we got some other stuff that we got to do, but I got to get that shit out of the way so we can watch Predator 2, damn it.
Yeah.
Are you going to watch it tonight?
I might actually put it in, and I wish I could get it on 4K, but I have it on Blu-ray, so I might go in there.
Is it on 4K?
I think I found it on Amazon, but it was like out of stock, or it's like, well, I don't know if it's one of those things, if it was like a legitimate U.S. release 4K or what.
No, yeah, this isn't. It's region free, but it's not a U.S. release.
Yeah, see, I'm just gonna have to wait until which I'm sure to be another recycling of all the material that was on the Predator 2, DVD and.
Is it? Yeah, that's also a shame. Hey, what the fuck? No, there is a 4K. No, there's no release date set. Never mind. I see it here. Yeah, they were showing.
Because I was looking that up when I got the 4K player, because I was trying to find any of my favorite titles in 4K, and I kept looking for that. I'm like, oh, it's not out yet.
So it says no release date, but there's a review on here. I don't know if it's for that edition that is there on. Let me go to the forum. Predator. Oh, wait, what's this? Predator Trilogy 4K. UHD.
Oh, I remember seeing that too.
Yeah, so it was a 3-movie collection, but that was back in 2018. Oh, and now there's a 4-movie collection, so you can just get all those other shit movies.
No, it's okay. I think I'll just stick with the damn Blu-ray.
Which the Blu-ray looks pretty good.
Yeah, Blu-ray looks good. It does look really good. I just wish, knowing that there's so much more information that is out there about this film, and that all we got was, snippets of slightly up-to-date interviews with Stephen Hopkins and the vintage interviews. I'm like, there's like him going and talking to Steven Seagal about being in Predator 2. That is a section in itself of like, I want to hear more about that scenario.
That would have been so bad.
Oh, it would have been bad, but just knowing that was like, and knowing that Arnold was approached, they tried to get him to come back. He said no. I just there's more to be explained with that, because Arnold was in the original script for Predator 2, and Danny Glover was, or the cop character was going to team up with them, and
that would have been,
because I also heard Patrick Swayze was approached to be in Predator 2, but due to injuries at Roadhouse, he couldn't do it. I think that could have worked.
Yeah,
because
I agree with that.
Yeah, I think how he was in Point Break and Roadhouse. I'm like, yeah, I could see him playing Lieutenant, Mike Harrigan,
but Danny Glover worked.
I'm not saying I want because I love Danny Glover.
He had practice, man. Rocks. He's already been in those Lethal Weapon movies, so he was already like, yeah, I know how to be a cop.
Yeah, and almost like what his version of Riggs could have been. Like it just a guy who's just he's got the shortest fuse.
Yeah.
You know, he's not suicidal, but just like if Donner had cast him as Riggs instead of Mel Gibson, that's kind of like fuck yourself. You know, just the way he says "fuck you" or "fuck yourself." Yeah. I don't give a fuck what you want with this asshole. He's just damn. And just God, he's vicious in Predator 2. Danny Glover is.
He is. It's a different side to him, and I'm glad that I have my 11x17 Predator 2 poster signed by Danny Glover. Bam, there
he is. Yeah,
all the way. This was 10 years ago, by the way.
Yeah. God, I was so starstruck meeting him. Oh my God!
Look how much I feel like I look way younger right there too.
Yeah, I'm a lot heavier there too.
Hey, rocking the Skeletor shirt though.
I'm rocking the Skeletor shirt though. Yeah. I was pretty happy with that shirt. That was the same way, and we met Leah Thompson that same weekend.
Yeah.
And Gary Busey.
Yeah.
And David Naughton from American Werewolf in London.
Yeah. Which so GalaxyCon does a new thing now where they're starting to get into the horror genre and having like cons based off of horror. Yeah, and Griffin Dunn's going to be at it. So I was like,
I saw he was doing one. I thought, or maybe it was, or I feel like I saw like an announcement of him being at one. I'm like, holy shit, Griffin Dunn's like doing the con circuit now. I'm like, God, I'd love to meet him. I bet he'd be cool as shit to talk to.
Fedmon was saying, what is wrong with your hair? I don't know.
It's pulled back in the ponytail.
Yeah, it's pulled back in the ponytail.
Yeah.
It's all. I mean, I could do the same thing right now, and it would look exactly. Well, I think I had some more.
Well, I say Nathan doesn't age. Like he still, you don't. If you cut your hair like back to the high school hairdo, you can still pass for a high school kid.
I mean, probably. I certainly still get the acne for it, which, guys, adult acne, real thing. Summertime fucking sucks. Being at my job and just being sweaty and stuck to my clothes like all day, not good for the skin. So I probably need to go see a dermatologist and get some of this shit figured out. But yeah, fuck, man. We'll wrap it up with this because we got some Predator 2 we got to go watch.
Yeah, at least get it started. And
for you, at least get it started. For me, I'm gonna either rewatch or just start.
I'm just curious. Did you read part 2 and 3 of this miniseries by chance, or did you just read issue 1?
No, I said that earlier. I've only read it's been a while since I've read the other 2. But after this, I'm gonna go and read it.
If you read them tonight or over the weekend or tomorrow into like Fans of Power, like you have to tell me because I'm like I love waking up to like. I read 2 and 3. I went ahead and bought all the variant covers too. It was so fucking awesome.
It's honestly tempting just to read these issues and not like on the computer, like actually hold it in my hand.
Oh well, you got them right there. Yeah. I mean, because I've got them too, but I'm not sure where they're at the moment here because I was gonna I intended to buy like a more up to like a more current set that was in great condition and put them in frames and the variants as well, but I never got around to doing that.
No.
Which because of my den, I
got your debit card back, man. Just do it.
I got my debit card back. I at least start browsing and shopping. I got to be careful. Payments due next week. My new car and
a new car,
and all this other stuff.
Who needs that, man? You need to upgrade your Batman Predator boats.
Oh, I do. It's fun to at least be able to like go on here and like shop on eBay before I go to the gym or whatever. Like, hey, this is available for that price there. Okay, and that's when I get in trouble. I'm like, well, I got this and I got this. Like, fuck, I forgot about that bill.
I'll leave it on this last thing. Fedmon, tease of Fans of Power tomorrow. Tyler, I'll toss that to you. Let them know. Let them know what. I mean, we can just fucking tell them.
Yeah, we are going to be doing a watch along of the Song of Solace. So Lizard Man's full last appearance, not the brief appearance in Rarest Gift of All, but the episode Song of Solace about the siren Solace who keeps Yogg at bay in the city of Taran, and Skeletor wants her power for himself to open Grayskull. It's very, very wonderful, underrated episode. I think it's well liked, but it's never like held up in the upper echelon of episodes. I think with a lot of fans, but that's what we're doing. We're doing a watch along of that wonderful action packed episode.
which the last time you guys actually talked about it, episode 99 of Fans of Power, and it wasn't a watch along. It was just you and Joe discussing.
Talking, yeah. I remember trying to tell Joe that concept. Like, no, we watched the episode and talk about it. And he's like, "You mean on the computer?" Like, no, Joe, we just like look at it.
Is it
on
free?
the TV? And it was just like he just did not understand it at all. I'm like,
this episode 99, you talked about Song of Solace and the Lady Bird book, Castle Grayskull Under Attack.
Oh God, yeah, Joe made me sit through like 2 of those pieces of shit books. I'm sorry, I know the UK they love the Lady Bird books, but Joe made me sit through 2 of them, and I hated it. They were just not fun. And I love children's story books of He-Man, I truly do, but I did not enjoy those at all. So it's no slight, because hey, people in the UK, if you don't like the Golden books, hey, you didn't grow up with them. I understand it, but the Golden books were superior. Let's fucking face it. Better art, better stories, better covers.
But yes, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. live. Join us for Fans of Power, where, as Tyler said, watch along Song of Solace. And we'll go ahead and end it here. I hope everyone that was here live enjoyed this. Sorry, I didn't read off everybody that was in the chat. If you are joining and watching this after the fact, which most of you do when it comes to the Spinner Rack, I should have put in my intro. It's Jaime Mara's favorite show of his that we do, actually. He told me that. He's like, I love the Spinner Rack. I love the Spinner Rack. So we do at least have one fan out there. But we hope that you enjoyed this, that you want to seek out either the trade or be like Tyler. Go buy
and they're not expensive. Like the variants, like you can get sets for like
cheap.
$20 to $30, you know.
Cheap.
But yeah, they're not gonna, it's not like trying to get the first appearance of Wolverine, some shit like that.
Yeah, know? Like I have down.
Yeah, for $300.
And it's graded too, 5.5. I don't know if you knew that or not.
Yeah. I had no recollection of that at all.
But I hope everyone enjoyed that. I hope it makes you want to go read the other 2 issues, which
or watch Predator 1 and 2 after this.
Have a double feature, both on Max. If you're subscribed to that, go ahead and check it out, or go dig out your DVDs or Blu-ray or VHS tapes. That's always a fun way to watch them too.
Watching those on the old CBS Fox home video, like a Predator with like the trailer for Revenge of the Nerds 2 and the Pickup Artist and Predator 2. Oh God!
Yeah, all the
memories,
all the fondest of memories. But if you haven't done so already, make sure you like this video, subscribe if you haven't, and leave a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts on this book, Predator 2. Anything really? Let us know.
Yeah, or any other Predator stories that you may have read, or suggestions for us you'd like to see us cover that don't suck. Remember, they can't suck.
And until next time. We'll see you next issue.
Or you're doing the Macho Man.